I guess it started. I guess the stream started. Okay. Hello, everybody. Today we are going to be working a bit on our video game. I should say my video game, but you're all family here, so let's just start working on the game. Anyways, currently I have. Let me just check out my messages. I'm sorry. Okay. Now, let's see. Project. I'm using Linear. I'm not sponsored or anything by them. It's just really good. It's a really good piece of software to keep track of what things you do and how you do them. Do them. Can I pin this somehow? I do not think I can, or I haven't really tried to. How to pin OBS chat. Of course, there's no option. Okay, nobody cares. I'll just check it out like this once in a while. So, the current status is I've started developing this game not too long ago. Not only me, I have 2 other people working on the game. All of us are equal parts in the game, meaning that we all do the exact same amount of work. And the other 2 people are artists. One of them is my girlfriend, and the other one is our really good friend. And yeah, they are super talented, and they are the driving force behind this, because without art we wouldn't be able to do anything. Most of my work can be done by anybody, but art is a really complex thing. You really have to be born to do it. Enough about rambling about art and stuff, ADHD. But currently in progress we have 2 projects, one of which is the World Manager, which if you look at here, World Manager.cpp, it's designed to despawn entities and characters and whatnot, items, whatever can be created or destroyed in the world will be created or destroyed using the the World Manager, because we need to manage the world. So coffee. I'm just having this thing in my eye. I'm sorry, I have to blink like a retard. So here we go. What I have added that we need to do is add an option to spawn at prior location, because currently we can only spawn the player. As you can see, it says creates a player, and then it checks which player it is. If the character chosen does not exist, you just assert false, send the message. But if it if the player exists, I mean the character, then you give them special stuff in the switch case. But if stuff is shared, like the blood component, the hunger values, the level, you can put all that above, so you don't like duplicate everything. So as you can see, now if we go into main where we spawn the character, as you can see entity player, we just spawn the character at coordinates that don't exist, and you just draw the texture sprite. This is just for debugging. I was testing out my animation system. But yeah, so now what we need to do is we actually need to... Do we have a project for position? And we have one for rendering, but I don't think that's good enough. We can add just a sub issue to the sub issue and add position component. Add position component, and it's programming stuff. Set that to in progress. So now we can go ahead and add that. So we have an ECS.hpp where we store all the ECS components for any given entity in the game. So right here, let's see where we can put that. Animations, probably below animations. So let's go external, unordered map, entity, and then we're gonna say vector 2 because that's position. So positions, and of course I messed up. Entity, okay, right. And we're gonna go into, actually we're gonna yank this line so we don't have to type it again. And then we're going to go into, it's called ECS.cpp, and right below animations we're gonna put this in. We're gonna delete the word. What did I do? Did something stupid, so we're gonna have a look at this. Okay, now we have positions in a world, and now for the world manager.hpp, we're gonna have we're gonna change the function definition. I'm gonna say vector 2 position or start position. Okay, now vector 2 doesn't exist currently because we have to include raylib.h, and then we are going to go into world manager.cpp, and then we are going to say vector 2 start position. Okay, so now we're gonna assign an ECS positions player to be equal to start position. So now our player, when we spawn our player, we're gonna know exactly where the position is going to be, and we should have added it here too. I don't know why I didn't, but we're gonna add it now. Start position. Of course it's outlined because we haven't found it already, and then say ECS positions of character equal to start position, and now we have the position of that character respawned anyways. Oh, I have to sign in. Okay, I'm not gonna do this on live because you know why, and we're gonna go into YouTube just like this, and I'm gonna check it periodically here. I'm going to my YouTube studio. I hope you don't see something you shouldn't see here, but live? Oh, am I not streaming from here? No. Damn it. Okay, I have signed out of everything. And you saw my real government name. That's really nice. Your password. Doesn't matter. Do with that what you want. Tap yes. Okay. Okay, it is really me. Want to take a sip of this tea? I don't know where I'm streaming actually. What is this even connected to? Like what? Stream? Linwood. Okay, so it's this one. Yeah, it's probably this one, and then studio, and then content, and then live. There we go. Okay, can we look at chat here, or do we have to actually enter the stream? I think we have to enter the stream actually. Okay. We have entered the stream. Now we can take a look at the, let's turn on timestamps. No moderation. Who needs moderation, right? I think that's it. Anyways, let me go back to here. And let's go into world manager.hpp. And we're gonna go into here. Vector 2 start position, right quit, and then we're gonna try to build this, see if it actually builds. Of course not. And it says okay, we didn't actually in our main CPP we didn't provide the start position, which is going to be 0 and 0, so it's zeros. Okay, now we have that. For this one, does it say position? Yes. Okay, so currently we know that positions exists for the player. We're going to be creating an actual say 400, 200. We're gonna go right quit and CMake, and I should compile, and then going to build, and then Yersinia. Okay, so the position updated now. That's really good. And then we're gonna go into emblem, and we're gonna actually mark this as complete. Gonna go and say that this task is done, and then this one also is done. The final one says add an option to spawn with default values. For example, when transitioning levels, you need to give the player stable information. What this means is actually going to world manager.cpp. When you spawn the player in any map, like let's say you load another map, you want to give the player some items or store stuff like position. So when you load into the map, you are at the desired position. You know, like whenever you load a map, like load a save file, you wanna like load everything. I don't know how to say that, you know, but you know what I mean. Like you want to give them the position they were last in, you want to give them the items that they had and stuff like that. But I don't know if spawn player is the right function to do this. Maybe it is, but I'm thinking maybe another function called load player data, and then you can like have a separation of concerns. But that what that means is, yeah, actually that's fine, because you set these. I'm just thinking right now, because okay, of course we're not going to enter the game loop in main. We're not going to be entering here until we load the player. So let's say spawn player and then load player data, and then we would enter the loop, which is fine. We would first populate the data with some beginner values, and then load if a load file is present, or if a load file is selected. So that's not going to be our concern right now, because I'm not going to work on it currently. I don't think that's something we need to work on now. But we could create a despawn entity function because we don't have that currently. Let's see if there's anybody. Of course not. Would there anybody be here? Anyways, I'm kidding, I'm not gay. Oops. That was confidential. I'm kidding. How long has this stream been going on for? 2 minutes? Why is it late? Okay, two something. That's pretty funny. We're gonna go now into creating the despawn functions. So let's go into world manager, and it's going to be a void, or should be a void. Yes, should be a void. You can't not despawn, so despawn entity, and this is going to be entity because all entities can be despawned. They're all the same. Just going to delete everything they have. So let's go into world manager.cpp now. End of the file, and then voids world manager despawn entity, and then like this. So now we have to despawn everything in the ECS thingy that it has. We're not gonna go and check if it has, then delete, because I assume that can you remove from map without checking if an item exists first? C++. No, this is the last question. I think the AI can generate this better than we can search, so see. So say by design, okay. The key does not exist, the function does not. Okay, I just wanted to check that. Just to make sure we don't mess something up. So ECS, and then we're gonna go into positions, dot remove, or what was the function? Let's see. Erase E, and then ECS. Go animations dot erase E, ECS level, erase E. Yes, this is how we actually have to do it. So we're gonna say basal erase E. How values erase E. Souls erase E. What else? Base soul value, we have that already. Blood components, erase E. So we have position, animations, level, base soul value, health values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's it. And now we're gonna make this reusable, because if we don't reuse the erased entities, we will just keep creating new numbers, because IDs go from 0, they're incremental, so they go from 0 to whatever. uint32 bits. It's a huge number, but why not reuse something that you can? Why waste memory or space, whatever? I mean, it's already pre-allocated. But anyways, maybe you're a modder and you start spawning and despawning stuff really quickly, and you hit memory, what's it called, memory limit, and then it starts going, starts again from 0, because it's unsigned, and then you start overlapping entities, and you're gonna get a crash. So we're not gonna do that for you. So we're gonna go ECS, and we're gonna say reusable entity IDs dot push back E. So what this does is we have reusable entity IDs in, did we write this in ECS? Let's go here. And you have reusable entity IDs, there's just a vector of entity IDs. And when you create an entity, you're gonna have static entity E. And if the reusable entity IDs is empty, yeah, you're just gonna return E++. I'm just gonna increment the uint32 entity, and it's going to remember the value for the next time we call the function. That's why we use the static keyword. And if we actually have a reusable entity ID, we are going to pop the entity ID or get the last entity ID, and then we are going to remove it. In C++, there is no currently there is no way to pop and get the value back, and then you return the popped entity ID. Let's see if there's anybody here. Nope. Doesn't matter. Let's look at this guy flashing some money. It's pretty cool. Okay, so once we have popped that and done that, then that's fine. we just have to remember to always, whenever we add a new ECS unordered map, we are going to have to remove it manually. I don't see any other way of doing this. I mean, there is another way of doing this, and this is not that optimized. We don't need that much computing power, so this can slide. But yeah, let me just check once more if we maybe messed up something here. Despawn entity, remove all of these, and then just push the reusable entity IDs. Yeah, I think that's fine. Right quick. And we're gonna go to CMake. Can we? Okay. And now the real test. The real test is if we can delete the player when we spawn it. Can we delete the player now? So, and if we delete them, this will be undefined behavior. So let's go into world manager, despawn entity player. So let's crash our game for the first time. There we go, segmentation fault, nice. We got a segmentation fault because we were careless, right? So let's go into source, main, and we cannot draw a texture here because if the player doesn't exist, okay, fuck off. The player doesn't exist. So we're gonna say if. Do I really have to do this? Yes, I have to do this. Auto text IT equals ECS animations.find player, and then if texture ID, if texture iterator is equal to ECS animations.end. So if it doesn't exist, we are going to. No, actually, we're gonna do this. Let's write like this. So if it does exist, we're gonna write, but it shouldn't even like. It's not even gonna render it, but never mind. So there we go. Now the player doesn't exist anymore because we deleted him, and we can do another thing here, which is we can spawn then despawn the player, right? So we can spawn main.cpp. We don't need to render him anymore. So we're gonna say 3335D. Remove this. We're gonna despawn the entity, and then we're gonna say player is equal to world manager spawn player, and we're gonna say player characters nada, and the position is going to be 400 200. And here we're gonna print off %d/new. We're going to be printing the player ID. Actually, it's not %d, it's %lu because it's okay. So it's just unsigned. Okay, and it should, when we yank this line and paste it here, now it should give us the same number because we reused the what's it called? Reuse the ID. Okay. There we go. As you can see, our function for reusing stuff is working. So we reuse the ID. I'm gonna have one cookie. These are matcha strawberry cookies. You probably don't have that in your country. I'm kidding. Don't ban me, YouTube. It's a joke. They be banning you for anything these days. Anyways. For fuck's sake. And Vim. What am I typing, bro? Mayonnaise. Okay, now we're gonna do const entity some random rat. We're gonna say role manager spawn character, and then we're gonna say AI characters rat, and then we're gonna say position of 100. I just want to check if we get another ID, which we should. Should. That's a bold claim. Right quit. I can do right quit immediately. I don't know why I do right and then right quit. Some whatever build, and then I'm gonna say here's senior. Yes, okay, so the function is working correctly. End of story right there, you know, like we have implemented it. If there's an issue, I'm sure it will come up later. Despawn entity function. So that's completed also. I wanted to grab the cookie again. I got 1 bite, but I think tea is now in order. Always nice to wash your teeth from the sweetness, you know, to let your teeth heal until the next bite, you know, minimizing the damage. The tea is not sweetened at all. Health. Okay. Source. Now what we can do, we should probably look at the world manager again. Not world manager, oh my god, the projects. So we have all of these things. The rendering is it being blocked by something? No, it's blocking the player movement. So we can create a rendering function. I think we should do that now. Let's check if somebody typed anything. No. Okay, that's fine. Heartbroken. It's in the game. What do we have to do now? We have to create a new file. We don't have a folder actually, so I'm gonna go mk there. Source. Let's call it systems and touch source systems rendering system.hpp and touch source systems rendering system.cpp. Yes, systems rendering system.hpp, and we're now going to go and we're going to get these 1.6 yank, and we are going to go into here. We're going to paste this because we don't want people stealing our code, meanwhile streaming it online for free for everybody to see and steal. But yeah, what we should do, what should we do now? We should create a namespace, and let's call it rendering system. Okay, and then we're just going to name every function in our systems run, right? Why? Because I said so. I'm kidding. Because paste. Because when you call it in main, you'll see right now. When you call it in main, you're gonna say render system run, and then it looks really nice. So we're gonna say void rendering system run, and here we're gonna render stuff. Use undeclared identifier rendering system. Oh, duh! You have to include the rendering system, and I'm gonna see in main when we go here. We should probably delete all of this stuff. So 29 to 33 we're gonna delete. And then we're gonna go here and we're going to, first we have to include the rendering system. So hash include systems rendering system. Okay. And then we're going to append here. Oh my god, somebody fucking died outside it. Sad it. And right here we're going to type rendering. I don't know why my brain is not braining. What? And how do you even go to the first line? I forgot how to go to the start of the line in Vim. Like I forgot the fucking command. Something stupid. 0. So caret. Okay, so if we are here and we want to go, that's so fucking disgusting. Disgusting. Okay. So for our purposes currently, we are going to make this very, very simple. We're just gonna render everything that has an animation thing, but we're not gonna be doing the rendering of animations themselves in this video. Or because this is the last thing I'm gonna do, and then I'm gonna go and I don't know, chill for a bit. So here we're going to need a for loop, and we're going to loop through all the ECS, include ECS. Wait. Oh yeah, ECS, and then ECS.hpp, and we're gonna have to go auto reference. We're gonna make a constant auto reference because we're not gonna change anything. We're gonna say entity, and then no, it's gonna say E. That's for entity E, and we're gonna need animation in ECS animations, right? And now we're gonna say const auto reference. No, const auto. Can it be a reference? Can iterators be references in C++ unordered map? No. Oh, okay, they already are kind of pointer like reference. Okay, never mind. Constant auto, and let's call it position it ECS positions dot find. Let's say E, and if we do not have a position, we don't know where to render, right? So we're gonna say position it seconds. No, we're gonna say position it if position it is equal to positions and it's not found, and we're gonna say continue. Oops. Let's say continue. Okay, so if we don't have position, we don't know where to render it. Goodbye. We're not gonna let the game crash or whatever. Okay, only me still. There was one guy. Shout out to the one guy that joined, or girl, whoever. Now comes the easy part. So texture, render. No, how is it called? Draw texture. Texture EX. Okay. No, what? No. No. Draw texture X. Yeah. So we're gonna say animations. Why is it called animations? Animation. Animation. Dot current animation. Dot sprite sheet. We're just gonna draw the whole sprite sheet. And the position is going to be position it seconds because we need the position. The rotation is going to be 0.f, and the scale is going to be 1, and the color is going to be white. And okay, So this should actually already work. Yes, I want to save the changes. So I'm gonna say cmake, and we didn't put it in the. Let me just see, what is this? My girlfriend has arrived. Where was I? Nvim dot, and then we're gonna go into cmake lists, and we're gonna add the source systems, and then we're gonna say render, or is it rendering? Damn it. Rendering, okay. Might as well yank this. Okay, and we should actually add the systems rendering system.hpp because of some other because if we were to use CLion, it needs to have both HPP and CPP files. But if you are using NVIM, you can just do it like this. So let's see here, Cineum. There we go, we're rendering. It's really not that deep. The next thing, and if you're wondering why I'm rendering only one sprite, is because this image has only one sprite. So go and open this, go into assets. As you can see, Nada is only one image. We'll need to use the source rectangle to make her animate, which is fun. Okay, so that's it for today. I'm gonna turn off the stream because I want to enjoy this cookie by myself. And because my girlfriend has arrived and I have to talk to her. She didn't arrive here. She arrived at her hometown. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll catch you in the next episode.